We often speak to people who have been operating as sole traders whilst they've been getting their business going, and have reached a point where they're wondering if they should operate as a limited company instead. Sometimes they're trying to develop their company brand. Other times they feel it will enable them to bid for work they can't currently bid for. Whatever the reason though, once a decision has been made, it helps to know what's involved. When setting up a company, you'll need to decide on the following: a company name, which has to be unique, the registered address. We tend to recommend that this is not your personal home address, and at Essendon we do offer our address as an option. Thirdly, the shareholders. This is not always straightforward, so I'd suggest you take advice on this. The directors. The role of a director in a business is a significant one. You are legally responsible for the company's activities, and so those appointed must be chosen carefully. When you incorporate a company, you will receive from Companies House both a certificate of incorporation and also a memorandum and articles of association. You will need these, for example, when you go to a bank to open up a bank account. Other documentation that you will need to get prepared on an annual basis are the annual accounts, which must be filed at Companies House. There's also the annual confirmation statement, which also must be filed at Companies House, and this summarises the shareholders and directors. Finally, an annual corporation tax must be filed with HM Revenue and Customs. I hate to say it, but yes, there are lots of deadlines, and they matter if you don't want to incur penalties. But don't worry, a good accountant will help you with these and prevent the fines. So what sort of deadlines am I talking about? A good example is the one for filing your accounts at Companies House. Once your company is in its second year, your accounts must be filed within 9 months after the period end. Then there's also your tax return filing deadline with HM Revenue Customs, which is 12 months after your period end. And also your corporation tax deadline, which is 9 months and 1 day after your period end. Sorry, I did warn you. But if you're feeling a little bit daunted by the sound of all that, don't worry, you won't be the first. And it isn't really something to lose sleep over. If you're working with the right accountant, then they will guide you along the right path. And at Essendon, I confess we do our best to help our clients get a good night's sleep.